You mean being a nomad?
Yeah, becoming a permanent
No.
Resident in Lisbon.
yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this on the video.
So we're not.
Yeah.
So we are.
We are. We are.
Speechless.
Oh, it's a very Buddhist thing to say, Alex. We are. I love it.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I just was like, I was listening to the live stream, which is like 10 seconds later. So I heard the conversation 10 seconds later, but now I'm back again. So we're live on YouTube.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, YouTube.
Hello.
So it's like 25 people gets recognized, and I'm not going to post that on LinkedIn. We do that in later sessions, but now we have like this small little test setup.
I'll dress up better.
You all look fine. And for those on YouTube or who will be later looking at it, I have to share my screen, or I'm going to share my screen. And now you should see, yes, the canvas. Okay. So we are the Blue Ocean Sprinters, right?
Sure.
As a team. Maybe we can start with the moodometer. For that, I'm going to summon you. And I think you vote on the emojis in this case. Not sure if that's already the case here. But do you feel like you're ready, you're not ready? So I give everyone one vote. And then see. Yeah, that's when you're with a bigger group, you just wait, but we don't have to. Oh yeah, we are really excited. That's a good one. That's a good one. So I say that we are 90%, the energy bar. Okie. So first of all, I mean, we know each other, but nevertheless, I would say we start filling out the first. So you all feel fine, you all feel well, there's nothing more to discuss, right? Can I have a thumbs up for that? Good. So let's start with our name, with our profile, and with our superpowers, and grab an avatar. Which I think is the most important thing, because you then have to take the avatar and sit on the table.
Yeah. So who to pick this time?
Well, I'm often stick with the one I have. Like a signature.
Can you help somebody?
Yes.
I don't know. I cannot make it smaller. I don't know why. It's not moving properly when I touch it.
Why can I not get my...
Me too.
I don't know.
What you can do is you can just...
Maybe just put the picture, maybe just small like this. Something like this.
Whee.
Yeah.
Pam can't be seen.
No, I don't know why.
That's in the security settings normally.
That's weird. I've like added my, I put in my
It's-
profile so
it-
many times.
So there's privacy settings in the normal security settings, and there you have to enable this. And
Settings
have
and
a look.
privacy. I'm just gonna have a look at that.
But maybe you just talk about your two superpowers first.
My
Oh, I
God,
can get
so-
two
so hard.
superpowers.
This
We have
time
two.
there's-
Oh, I see
Yes.
Marcus and I look we are actually very alike. Now I can't copy those. Damn it. I love it, Marcus. Systems thinking is one of my superpowers too.
I had never been thinking about it actually until, I don't know, March, April, when I made such a superpower test, because everybody was talking about superpowers, and I thought, okay, there's a test, let's check it. And the number one was system thinking. And I thought, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Never had been thinking about it. So great to have words for it now.
It's nice. I had a similar experience, I think maybe 1 or 2 years ago, very similar to yours. I'm just gonna pop it in anyway because, well, when you figure out that the way you think is, there's a word for it. Yeah, and it's not everybody, because people struggle with this. Most people don't think in systems. So I don't know if that's your experience too, with being called out on it, like, oh, you're overcomplicating things or whatever. So you're kind of being told that you're not making any sense, and then all of a sudden you figure out, I am making sense, but it's just different than everybody else.
Yeah, that's can totally confirm it. It's often like, come on, don't bother me with the details. And actually, you're drifting through different levels and talking about different levels. And I think that's also a big challenge sometimes, to figure out on which level does the other person currently want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, correct. What else would be let's for the sake of it, right?
While
Sustainability.
Pam is still thinking. Elisa, what are your superpowers?
What?
What are your superpowers?
Sorry, my superpowers are, this time I got to put two. So one is a healthy balance of seriousness and stupidity. I think it's the key of doing a great job. And then resilience. I never give up, and I'm always positive and try to do my best and learn from others. That's another. Adaptability to change.
Nice.
Love it.
We have sustainability with Pam, which is, in
Yeah,
regards to the green sprint and other initiatives, not that surprising.
no, I figured I'd put it in there as a reminder that one of the goals for our blue ocean sprint is also to see if we can turn it into some sort of green ocean as well. And then I put system thinking in there because Marcus and I were talking about it. But I see that they're more on the harder skills and not so much on the softer ones, as if you put in. But yeah.
That's totally fine. Totally fine. And Marcus, you are a generalist and system thinker.
yes, we have been talking about the one topic already, and the generalist is really something we often talk so much about. You have to focus, focus, focus. On the other hand, I see a lot of advantages if you have a broader perspective. And there is this fantastic book called Range, in which there are some really good points, especially about wicked problems, wicked environments where you cannot really progress just by learning something, because it's far too complex, etc. And in these wicked environments, it's really helpful if you have a broad knowledge, because it will help you getting through it.
Nice one. So I'm flexible, and I have this startup thinking because I work in startup environments often. Yeah, that's like two of my superpowers.
Awesome.
Nice.
Sounds good.
So, okay, let's start with the personal goals. Obviously, for this sprint and for this group, what we want to achieve on a personal level, not in our life. So, but for this sprint. So, what is like our personal goals that we want to achieve? If I give us 2 minutes, and then we see how far we came. Okay. Then let's get started.
Alex,
Yes.
can I bring the small fires to
Yes,
put
sure.
on others? Because I saw that I just wrote something that somebody, okay, maybe I have to. Thank you.
That's better, Elisa. Good idea. Instead of writing everything twice.
Oh, I have 1 second to go to the door. I'm coming.
Yes. So if you like something from someone else, then put on some fire.
I have a question. What does cooperate to compete mean?
I have not written it, so I cannot.
Okay. Might have been Elisa who's out now.
Yes. So if I interpret it right from my perspective, we are cooperating to compete against others, like other design agencies and organizations that have more capacities and develop other things and so on. Mamma mia!
Yeah, exactly.
Bambini, bella, bellissima.
I was still hoping for her to start rambling in Italian, but no.
Alex,
No.
do you have some music for this?
Ooh.
Or
Do you
Is-
mean like, yeah, I can have a look.
what's the song? Funiculi, funicula or so?
Funiculi,
don't worry.
funicula. That's Italian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Oh.
had like we just discussed. So we heard in the background a little bit how you were arguing, and we found that very Italian. And I was mocking a little bit like, Mamma
I
mia,
just said-
bellissima. Whatever.
I just sent my non-Italian speaker boyfriend downstairs to somebody to talk with somebody. So it's going to be funny.
That's actually a funny thing in total. Like when Germans talk German, other people found that it's very harsh and rude. So, and when I hear Russian people talking to each other or Chinese people yelling at each other, which seems to be total normal down there, it's a different feeling. So like when Italian people talk, I always feel like that there is a lot of emotion in it, even there is maybe not even any emotion in it.
Well,
Yep.
colleagues often made fun of Germans with the word butterfly, or I think in Spanish,
Oh God, yes.
mariposa. Well,
In German, it sucks. It's such an ugly word.
What is it? I don't know.
Schmetterling.
well, we can say Schmetterling, but of course, my colleagues always said Schmetterling.
Yeah.
Well, but that's always the comment that people do about German in general, at least in Italy. But I really like the sound of German. I don't know. I mean, usually in Italy they say that it sounds very harsh and not
I
romantic.
think this has as well a historical
like it.
component.
Yeah, I think so.
We had the question, what means cooperate to compete? And we found out that it looks like that you, Elisa, has written that. Maybe you can help us a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like it because we live in a world that it's very individualistic. Is it a word in English? Yes.
Yes.
So and they always in so many contexts they will ask you to compete and to be the best. And I like to be the best with other people. And that's what makes you compete in this world. Better in a more respectful way. I don't know. That's a concept that I really like, to grow with others. And there is still competition against others, but it's something that you share and you build together. So
Yep.
that's what
No,
I like.
I love that. I was thinking about something similar, so I'll put a fire there. Not so much to compete, but like working in a collective together, working in cooperatives. It's like the new way of partly forming the new economy. I mean, it's already happening right now, but
as well for freelancers and
exactly.
and so on to work together. So maybe we now can take. So it's not so much. So, but everyone can take his 2, 3, 4 top favorites and put them over to the personal goals. Maybe we start with Marcus this time. And
that's pretty generous, because then I can take already the cooperate to compete.
Yes.
Just
copy it.
Yeah. Of course.
And maybe you say one word why you take it, even it might be clear.
Well, Elisa already explained it very nicely, and that resonates totally with me. So that's what I like about it. Having fun. We should always have a bit more fun. So that's. And you said 3?
You can 2 to 4. You can do as much as you like.
I leave something for you, because I was already so individualistic to take the hot fire voted ones. So I stay with 2.
Okay. Pamela, what are your topics that you want to take over?
I see 2 more that have a little fire flame as well, which actually were both things that I put in there. So I think work together and learn from each other is something that matches the cooperate to compete. It's at least it's the cooperate part that's in there. So I'll copy that one over there. Which, to me is very important. I mean, we all have different backgrounds, not just culturally, but in our work as well. And I would love to see what you guys are up to and what you've been doing with all the things that you have been doing. Let's see. Well, what's missing is something like creating a blue sprint.
I was thinking the same. Yes.
So let's see what we have here. Dig deeper into Blue Ocean strategy for sure. Create a format to apply Blue Ocean. Create a sprint format. Sell the Blue Ocean sprint. Create a new type of sprint mixing tools and strategies. Can we adjust that to a little bit of mixing tools and strategies from Blue Ocean?
Yeah, sure. I wrote it, but it's like, yes.
Then that sounds like something
I can code things
from Blue Ocean. And then I'll. Hey.
Oh, it's not working anymore on Mural. The Control C.
Oh, thank you.
And yes, from yesterday, I realized that. So you can push Control and D, and it will
Control
copy
D?
it. Yeah, Control D,
Duplicate. Yeah.
and it
Oh
will
wow, that's
double
interesting.
it. Yeah, I don't know why they did it. I was getting crazy yesterday. I thought it was a problem of my keyboard.
And then
What has
obviously,
done? What is with the red light show? What happened to that one?
What? Sorry. Oh, yesterday.
The red light show.
Oh, yesterday. I have no idea. My camera got crazy and it
Yeah.
started changing my colors every 2 minutes or something. It was like putting me in red. I think it was something behind that was triggering the camera. The curtain that I have, which is orange, I think it was making the camera go crazy. But I did nothing. It just went away.
Okay.
It's super
All right.
funny. Yesterday was a crazy day.
Okay. Elisa, anything, or did you add?
No,
anything more?
I agree with the others. I like the ones that we already picked.
Mhm. Put them.
yeah, as you were chatting about the mural changes, I put the sustainability one in there because of course I have to.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
I know.
And then okay, and let's not have this every single. I think Watson wants to join our call. My dog wants to join our call.
Hello,
Good morning,
dog.
Watson.
Hello.
Hello, dog.
Does the dog come with the place, or do you take it from place to place?
No, we take him from place to place. That would be fun though. That would be,
Yeah,
would be
to
an
have
interesting
like
concept.
temporary pets. It
For
would be
nomad,
great.
rent an apartment that comes with a pet.
Yes, I
That's
had that on
interesting.
Airbnb that we had to please feed the cats. It was.
Oh, amazing.
We were in Utrecht actually, and had that concept, and it was all set up. They could go out and in, and they had their part where they eat, and every time you were like shaking the food for them, they were coming, and yeah, so that was like really nice.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. Well, actually, a lot of nomads miss pets.
Truly.
So it's definitely an issue without a clear solution, basically. So who knows?
Business model.
Sorry, what was that, Marcus?
You could start a new business model with it.
Yeah, yeah. We had some fun thinking about some things.
We will call it
when
sustainable pets.
No, it's not. I'm not sure. It's hard. You very quickly, you have to think about animal welfare. So very quickly, it just becomes this, no, like
Well, but if you
non-viable.
are, I don't know, if you are taking care of them while their owners are on holiday, it can be like a pension. You're a nomad pension.
Then it's definitely different. Yeah.
Or you can go all electronically, so you can do like Tamagotchi 2.0, if you remember Tamagotchi.
I was so scared of Tamagotchi when I was a kid. I don't know why. It made me freak out.
Really interesting. I would love to play it now. It would be weird, I guess.
Tamagotchi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, on a smartphone, it would be easy to take care of.
Do you know Furby? Furby, the small. That one also made me, I don't know, go crazy. It was scary. I don't know. I have no idea. Everybody has its own problems. That's mine. Fake animals talking.
So what I create a new type of sprint mixing tools and strategy from the blue ocean. I would agree with that. I agree with all of that. I would have put in the fun, and I would have put in learn. Well, I can do like string D. No. Yeah. Which is close to work together and learn from each other. But that's something I will. Sorry, I would like to stress very much.
Yep.
So next thing, anything. I think the personal goals are clear. Let's go to the common goals. What common goals do we share in doing this? Probably not so much different from above.
No.
Okay, we have still 20 seconds left. If you would like to write something, if you see something that's very appealing, you can put in fire.
I want a way to personalize this sound.
Yes,
That would be cool.
Yes.
well, I'm not sure if that is on their agenda. Okay, so if there's something you like, give it some heat. Otherwise, I would say, Elisa, this time is you to start.
Should I choose 3?
2 to 3.
2 to 3. Okay. Okay. I like a lot of them.
Okay.
I'm trying to choose.
So what is your most favorite one?
I think that one that kind of collects some, it's the one somebody wrote in the upper row, go through the process from concept to test case to selling the sprint. That includes also that one that is like market blue ocean sprints together, because it's like, let's do all the process together. I mean, that's how I read it, but the person who wrote it can explain it.
No, it's how I meant it.
Okay. So I will choose that one. I also like the developing of the mural blue ocean template. And I really like the different perspectives included in the process.
Then drag them over. Or
Okay, sorry.
duplicate them. No, it's okay.
I'll do it.
Totally
Very
fine.
quickly. If I can.
Marcus, additionally to what Elisa has said, what's your...
Yeah, perhaps 2 things. First of all, just so that Pam doesn't always have to say it, I will create the test case perhaps around a sustainability topic.
Where is that one? Oh, you drag it over there.
Thanks, Marcus.
You're welcome.
I see. So we have the sustainability fraction.
And the other one, I would take the published templates, which is or can be a special case of the selling part, but it's totally open what we can do with it, using a big platform or try to sell it. I mean, often we are also looking for creating, not changing money against our time, but having something that can run continuously. So thinking about templates from my point of view makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Pam.
Yes, I'm seeing if I have anything to add to this, because I think this kind of sums it up. Possibly something around co-creating, because we're creating and developing a lot of stuff, but it's not so much on the collaboration in this goal canvas yet.
I had a call with an asterisk. That can be a lot of things, like co-learning, co-designing, co-participating, co-laughing. It was like
that's what you meant. Okay.
I'm just going to put co-creating a new sprint on there as a high level
goal.
High level goal, yes. And I agree with all the others that are already there.
I agree with all the others that are there. What I would like to take is their markets, the blue ocean sprint together. No. Sorry.
No worries. New mural rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I don't know why they chose that, but it's completely.
And it
That's
goes
it.
against everything. Like in every other program, you
Yes.
use Control C. So why on earth do I need
I
to
would
use
like to
Control C?
see if for Mac is the same. Are you using a Mac?
Yeah,
No.
and on the Mac it still works.
Yeah, that's the bad part. That's what I was sure of.
I'm happy. Sorry.
Yeah.
So shall we do the values at the purpose at the end, or shall we do it now?
As you like. If it's something that includes all the other, maybe at the end. I don't know.
I would say so. Let's go for I always normally go for the values, which I'm going to summon you.
Hmm.
So what are the values? What are our guiding principles? What are our common values? We have rules and action points, so rules of engagement coming, so that's normally very close, but maybe just write 2 minutes down. What are our values and what we can agree on then?
Yeah, I think we can start with fire.
How do you spell that correctly?
Sorry?
No, it's correct. Never mind. I'm looking at my own spelling. Yeah, that
Oh.
word looks weird, but
Okay, I think so. If you have any other ideas, please fill in. Otherwise, I would stop the timer because I think we don't need so much time. And I'm not even sure if we need to vote. So I'm going to start this time. And I would take firstly, because of that's important for me, as well, respect drag into it, because that's like the base of everything, that you treat everyone respectfully, and I like to be treated respectfully, and that's an environment where I can deliver my best performances. And I have written as well candor, but I like close to that is open-mindedness, so being open for being open and not using string C, but string D. Yeah. So that's like the two important things. For me, the third one would be laughter, which I would correlate with fun.
Hmm.
And I have put in,
feels like Christmas, fun and laughter.
yes. So that's my 3 takes. I just struggling with the mural, but that will be done easily. Anyone who wants to go next?
Sure, I can go if you want. I mean, I see a lot of the same things. So, I mean, I think these are our top 3. When you were just turning off the timer, I put a little bit of a cryptic one, which is we before I, which goes to, well, one, because well, we're all freelancers and we're collaborating together, which is always a bit interesting. So it's reminding yourself that we're like, oh, in this case, we're a collaboration, um, not run off on your own, or I don't know, whatever. Or if there's something, just check in with each other, how things are advancing. And similarly, don't try to get stuck up on your own ideas or trying to push them. Yeah.
Yes, that's not an easy one, to let go your own ideas.
No, and yeah, exactly. I know. It's more of like, hey, this is an experiment that we're doing. We want to reach some goals. We've already set that. And then, of course, values goes to the way how do we want to do that. And I feel that's something. It's always good to be mindful of that. That we have a tendency. We're strong. We're probably strong, opinionated freelancers with our own little shtick. And to make this work, we definitely need to sometimes maybe remind ourselves that we're doing it. We're in it together.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it. But I don't necessarily have to put it on the values board. I just wanted to explain what I meant with that. But I would put it on there just as a reminder to ourselves.
Okay, maybe it's something for the rules of engagement that we're collaborative.
Maybe I was moving ahead. Yes, you might be right.
Marcus, what's your take so far, and would you drag something else over as well?
No. Let me try to be efficient and hand over to you directly, because I have nothing to add.
Okay, Elisa, last but not least.
Sorry. Was it? Sorry.
That's okay.
I agree with everything that has been said. I personally, I put commitment because I like to rely on people when I'm working on something. So
Put it
that's for
over.
me, that's for me something meaningful.
I think 4 values is a good one. And
Maybe instead of we before I, we can put teamwork. as a
Yeah.
value.
mhm.
Do you guys?
Yes,
Grazie.
and then you.
Control D.
What a great service.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have home
and that's
room
milk.
service.
Is it milk, right? Or-
You don't have room service?
No. We have the people around here are not as educated as well. Maybe I can get some tips from you how to do that. Okay. By the way, Elisa knows, but I don't know if you both know that when you celebrate now, that there is like jingle bells, jingle all the way.
That's so nice.
How much fun is Christmas time? Yeah, and with this scarf that nearly looks like a Christmas scarf.
I know it's a Christmas.
That's a perfect one. Let's go for the rules and action points. And I give us as well 2 minutes. What are the rules we want to introduce after the session? How do we want to communicate and keep everyone up to date? How do we make decisions? How do we execute and evaluate what we do? How do we act on each other? What are the rules of engagement that we give to each other?
There's going to be homework. Oh my god.
Yes, there will be. I'm sure about that.
Yeah, of course.
I had a
What
sprint
was
last
the-
time, and they were teachers, and they hated me giving them homework.
Teachers are horrible.
Yes.
Teachers are horrible. I've been working with teachers for the past 3 years, and they're terrible. They ask for the best example, and they are the worst example.
I see.
That's-
We're live on YouTube. You know that?
We were
Yeah,
on
but
you.
it's like I will tell them directly. I'm very
Okay, that's
direct
good.
and
That's good.
honest.
That's good. I just wanted to remind you. I found it interesting that teachers give homework, and the way they normally do it, it's that clear you have to do it and so on, and how they complained in this design sprint when they got homework and that it was so much and that they don't want to have it. So yeah.
But for that, I will say something in defense of the teachers. They have a lot of work outside of their practice, a lot. That it's always, you don't see that. You think, oh, they work on in the morning. Well, now with the online, it's crazy. But in Italy, at least, they thought that, okay, teachers, they teach until 2 and then they are free. That's not the case for a lot of teachers I've been working on. They work hard during the weekends too. And so that's something that I can say in defense.
I
I mean,
see.
it's easy criticizing teachers, but honestly, now also this spring with all the homeschooling clearly showed how difficult this is. I mean, our son was in first class, so from the topic, I should be able to understand it, and I also understood it. But really explaining it the right way, that my son understands it, and that became difficult. So
Yeah.
highest
There are,
respect.
yes, and there are also like a lot of very caring teachers. I
Yeah.
mean, pros and cons in everything.
Yeah.
True. So Marcus, you were already first. I think Elisa, you were first. Myself was first. So Pam, I think you are missing on being the first to comment and drag things over. And it would be cool.
I'm
if you-
unmuted, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't put in much because I had a little bit of a Wi-Fi struggle here, an internet struggle.
So
And
if
I
you
am
want
just
to-
thinking of another one.
So-
Yeah.
So the three of us can chit chat, and I can give you one more minute. to
No, it's
think
okay. I have one in my mind. I just have to formulate it the right way.
and do it. And
Can I ask in the meanwhile, Alex? I think you wrote it. What do you mean by candor?
candor is openness. So there is a book.
What radical candor?
Yeah, there's a book, Radical Candor, but there is another one that is from and I don't know how his name is, the founder of Pixar, the person who founded Pixar. And he said that, and he distinguishes between being honest and being candor. And he said being honest can be very rude, actually. And it can be very, how do you say, it can be insulting. Even though
Like me
you
talking
are,
about the teachers and saying that they're horrible people.
so it can be rude, it can be insulting.
Okay,
I
it's
can
nice.
I can honestly tell someone that he is an asshole.
Yeah,
Which is not a respectful way of dealing with each other. Openness or candor especially means he describes this as taking away the emotional embarrassment part out of that.
Nice. Okay.
To say,
In
okay,
Italian,
so we don't do the blame game. Yeah, we say, what is it? Okay, and this has been done wrong, or it's
Okay.
going in the wrong direction, and we have to talk about it. Yeah, and what can we do about it? So that's more like the question depersonalized, not like, oh, Marcus has done this. What is your suggestion, Marcus, now to do? That's not the way to do it, but it's like, okay, it happened like that. Maybe, Marcus, you can just shortly introduce it, how we came to that situation so that we know the factors and what can we do about it, which is like a different style of talking.
Okay,
Nice.
thank you. Yes, in Italian, we use this word rarely, and we use it for snow. That's related to the kind, yeah, it's candor of the snow. It's, I don't know, sometimes in the old Italian literature it's used like that. We have that word, and I think it You explain it perfectly, but we don't use it as commonly.
The founder is so the founder of Pixar is Edwin Catmull, and he is. I show it now on YouTube and on the live stream. Edwin Catmull, and he is the person who made the first ever animated movie. It's called Hand, and it's a turning hand for 5 seconds, and it's his hand that he digitized. And he has written a book.
Bit down.
Creativity Inc. That's the book I have written there. So coming back to our canvas.
Yes.
And Pamela.
All right. Actually, I agree with everything that's on there.
Mhm.
I'm going to take away this one because it makes no sense anymore for me. But yeah, I see a lot of the radical candor now that you're sharing a little bit more on it. I'm just quickly Googled it. What I extra put on there was just meaningful discussion, and we're on a collaborative discovery. So content and process go hand in hand. What I see a lot for GVDS, for instance, as well, is we follow the process and we trust the process. Whereas here, we're trying to build the process. So
that can't be trusted in the end.
That hopefully can be trusted in the end. But yeah, so in this case, I feel it's a little bit different. And sometimes I feel some facilitators are very strict in like, no, we like this, we have to move on, or like it's, and so I'm kind of curious to see where that's going to go. But in this case, I feel it's probably more important to hash something out a little bit deeper, digging a little bit deeper than trying to come to a quick conclusion and move on. But that's just how I feel about it. I definitely agree with it. It's about the topic, not the product, not the person. So meaningful discussion, yeah, for sure. So I'm dragging that one over. Radical. I'm just gonna go for radical candor because I really love it. I'm gonna read the book.
Really cool. So there is a book called Radical Candor, and there's the other book from Ed Catmull. It's 2 books, actually.
Okay. I think Radical Candor was actually already on my list.
It's AJ and Smart in recommendation book list.
Oh, okay. I did not know that, but I have a book list of about, I don't know how many books I still want to read.
There's this app called Blinkist. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yes, I have it.
That can help.
Do you have Goodreads as well? That's trying to keep track of all the... Do you use Goodreads?
I stopped putting books on my list because the list was so long that it was more a burden than it was something that I could do. And if a topic is really super interesting and I do buy a book, I buy it normally electronically, and I go then very quickly through it. But still, I don't read all the books I buy.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
All right.
So maybe Elisa.
I dragged 4 over.
So we have now 4 dragged over by Pam. Elisa, what's your
Sorry.
take? No problem.
Well, I agree with all of them. Oh, I was going to say sharing is caring, but it's already there. I like the part about saying if somebody crosses a line, or just in general, not just about negative things. I really like the fact that we can talk to each other and say, oh, this thing is working very good and this one is not. I like that aspect. I think that's the kind of puts together a lot of the other rules.
Then just drag it over.
Yes, Control D.
Anything else?
Well, I am I am the one that has the checklists, So I like making my homeworks, and I don't know if there is something to do and somebody said that it's gonna do it, give feedback, this kind of things. But you know that already, that I am the one that takes tracks of the things that needs to be done and has been done. So
drag over, make your homework.
If there is any,
if there's any, of course.
And I'm sure there will be.
Let's see.
I mean, but let's not call it homework. I mean, we're doing it for us, right?
Yes, right. So that's
work.
That would be my point, because then I would step in and say democratic decisions, at least, so we don't have to make the same decisions every day, or always agree on everything, but at least we should have a democratic process behind that. I think that's at least for me important, that we discuss it, and that we discuss it in a good way. And I wanted to say something about as well, for tell someone if the person crosses a line, because I have written that. And the problem for me is, and I think Elisa and Pam, we had that already in our sprint, but as a white older man, I have some blind spots, which sometimes I do not know that I'm crossing a line. Like I try always to explain that like last year or the year before, I realized, so when I cannot sleep, I go out at night. I really go for a walk. And I know that a lot of women never would do that because they would fear being out in the night, even in Central Europe. So there was like an activity. I had that blind spot. And obviously I could, before I would have said sentences like that, well, then go out and walk for it. So being not very mindful. So if I cross a line, please tell me. It's always it's not, I don't have a bad attitude about that. I just don't know it.
Okay. May I respond to that?
Yes.
So I love that you're doing that. So that's really good that you're opening up about that. There is a big difference for me in crossing a line and seeing someone's blind spot. So if that makes sense. So I can also, if you want, I can mirror you if you have a blind spot for something, which I'm not personally offended by, but it might be a blind spot for you. Is that something that you would want me to do as well?
Yes, that's a way too mature, I think. Find your blind spot and take care of it.
I agree. But that doesn't mean that you would cross a line with me, because maybe I'm not personally offended, but I can see maybe like, hey, maybe this is something.
Sometimes, so at least in Germany, it's like that there's sometimes with something with speech. So like when I was a child, it was okay in Germany to say to a black person, he's a Negro.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, that was like, and with my family and so coming out, but at that time we did that when I was a child. And but it has not a connection that this is a bad thing for me. Then someone told me, okay, that's not okay. They want to be called colored. So, okay, I have not a problem with that. If that offends you and you want to be called colored, I call you colored. Years later, I came back and I had a discussion that how these kind of words can affect everything. And I agreed and I said, okay, but then please tell me what you would like to be called. We're black people. I was okay, I call you black people. So I have said nigger. I have said in my life, you're a colored person, and I've said you're a black person. And I never have done this with bad intent. Yeah, it's just the way how I describe it. And if you are offended by it, please tell me, and then we find a way to solve it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So that's one thing. So we can help you with that for sure. It's more about biases. It's more calling people out on their biases, and if you have one. And I agree with that. They can be cultural, they can be personal. It's just what it is. I kind of like that. If you do feel that someone is saying something or acting based on a certain bias, then yes, let's by all means talk about that. Which is, I think that's always good. and
I
challenge
was-
your own biases is
I was also thinking about, it came to my mind, a cultural thing, or maybe it's just I like to joke a lot and use words that in other culture they might be found, I don't know, heavy. And I use it in a light way, but maybe in another culture it means something different. For example, when I say that somebody is a horrible person, it's funny for me, and it's not meant as to be like the definition of a core of somebody, but maybe in an international environment, it's something that I have to be aware of, and I do it all the time because I like to joke a lot. So please, the same talk that we were having about Alexander, it's for me. I do a lot of mistakes all the time, and so I really like for people to share with me what they think, and
yes, we all do.
that's
Okay,
interesting.
yeah.
And
So one other addition, it's so in we're talking about biases. It's not just the obvious ones that we just had, but we also have things like knowledge bias and information bias, negativity bias. So it's easy for us, all being facilitators and doing the work that we do, to I have this conversation with Manu a lot of the time in the sustainability bubble, to get caught up in a bubble and in this knowledge bias where you're like, no, but everybody understands this, right? I mean, this is obvious. And you're like, not so much, So you really have to be aware of your own knowledge bias as well. So it's not just the obvious, the gender biases and those kind of things, but it goes way broader than that. Your mental models and your biases are very interesting, how your brain works. But yeah, that's I love that we can also learn from each other in that way. So good. Excellent, Alex. Good point.
Marcus, the final words on this.
No, let's finish on this high note. And let's also take an analytical look at it. I mean, we have already 70% of the rules and action points moved over. So I think 70% is already pretty good.
It's okay. So last thing is number 3. So it's now number 4 is like, why are we doing? What are we doing in the first place? And so why are we doing? What are we doing in the first place? Why? And I want to reframe that in why are we doing? Why do we get together to create a Blue Ocean Sprint? And it should be like a deeper why. As said, I give us 2 minutes to think about this. This time don't do so much like normally we say quantity before quality, but in this time I would say go for the quality and not go for max 3. 2 would be better, I would say. Maybe Elisa, you can again put some heat on that, like the flames.
Yeah, coming.
So thank you for flying with the Blue Ocean Sprints. We're arriving at our destination. Please stay seated. So you can give some flames. If you like to. And this time I would try to reverse the order. So Marcus, we're going to start with you.
Oh, thank you very much. Then at least I have the chance to add something.
You had that situation already before, or?
Well, I had now 2 rounds where I couldn't add anything or didn't want to add.
Okay.
So I think I feel quite comfortable now that I can start. Of course, you set already a high benchmark with your introduction, not quality before quantity, and looking to the left, seeing what has been written there. I think that I would leave it to the author and focus on what I had written. And in the end, what triggered me first of all was really the curiosity part. Only knowing Alex before, sorry. So getting to know new people, working with people I haven't ever been working before, digging deeper into Blue Ocean. So a lot of things unknown, which really, yeah.
So it's curiosity that you will drag into the middle.
You allow me to do so.
Yes, please.
Just one point?
Just one. Just this time it's just one. But you can, of course, comment on others and start a discussion, and
Well, I already made my point about the long one at the left top part, but I would leave it to others. So it's really curiosity that drove me in the first place. Now it's of course more, but let's start with that one.
Okay. So Elisa.
I'm thinking. I will go with learn and thrive. I like it. It's I don't know who wrote it, but I really like it. Should I move it somewhere? Oh, yeah.
Yes, in the middle to our table. Exactly. Pamela.
I really love Learn and Thrive as well, which is always good, I think. And okay, well, Marcus, you would have been fine with me if you wanted to go over the one on the left, which of course I put in there. Yeah, because you said go for quality, not quantity. So I thought about it, and so developing a tool. This is what my mind is constantly trying to figure out. Like, what tools can we develop to help businesses really to break through and see that planet and people and profit can go hand in hand. And it's not a choice between either being sustainable or making a profit, but it's and. And I'm very curious to see if Blue Ocean Strategy can actually become a tool that helps them to not see that, but to help them develop new business models and new ways of looking at it. There's of course a lot more, but yeah, that's for me. That's part of why I'm excited about joining our group here. And I'm not going to push it all the time that it has to be sustainable, but I just want to go through the process and see where there might be elements that might be usable. So I want to make that promise to you guys as well. I'm not going to be every single time like, no, but it has to be green. But from my personal perspective, that is definitely always my focus. Well, no, it's about combining people, planet, and profit. It's the triple value. So not just profitability for a business, but providing value on all 3 levels. That's what I'm always looking at. So I made it a little bit more abstract. So why am I doing anything in the first place? Make the world a better place. But
Okay.
yeah, that might be a little bit too high over. So learn and
No,
thrive. I love it.
we're talking about purpose. It can be not too high.
Yeah. So yeah. So it depends. I mean the more extensive one is very much a personal driven purpose. The reason that I am excited about joining our team, what I want to try to get out of it.
Mhm.
But I can totally understand if that's not for our collective purpose. So I'm curious to see what to hear actually how you feel about that. Make the world a better place or something.
So I can respond to that or can reflect on that a little bit.
Yes.
Number one is that so on your statement is, so when does a blue ocean sprint come into place? And so for me, this is a way to create a new market, and therefore it often comes so in the startup growth when you are pivoting, so when you're doing a pivot. And what I can imagine is that going from a non-sustainable company to become a sustainable company could be described as a pivot as well.
Yeah.
So I would use a blue ocean sprint as a pivotal method, as a point where the management has said we want to change and we need to do that now, and we do that we do this
Yeah.
pivot. That would be number one. And the number two is that the blue ocean strategy or blue ocean shift is a non-disruptive method to create new markets. That means disruptive technologies, normally technologies are disruptive, destroy a market and create a new one. Like, I don't know, autonomous driving will crush the market of how do you call them, these of truck drivers. There will be less truck drivers, but there will be more people that have to write the code and that have to maintain and that have to control the routes of the goods and everything in some central places. So that's like Uber is disruptive for the taxi
Taxi
industry,
market.
taxi market.
Mm.
While this is something that you transform a product, you create a new market, but the old market still exists
Mm-hmm.
and is not touched.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go for make the world a better place because it's broader.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I understand what you're saying. I see it the same way. It's definitely a tool that you can use, I think, in exactly in that phase. So I totally hear what you say, the first one. Um in in the moment when a company decides, okay, we're open to becoming more sustainable and looking at our business models, like on that level. That's what I meant with the strategic level. So yeah. Anyways, we don't have to talk about this for a really long time. It's about purpose. So I agree. Make the world a better place. It's fine with me.
Okay. So you drag it over to the purpose
Yes,
table.
if you all agree with that, then that's part of why we're doing this. Love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the idea of making a world a better place. I usually focus on different levels, not the. I like sustainability. I usually focus on the processes and the people because I come from that background and I am an organizational psychologist. I definitely agree. I'm not in complete agreement of what Alex you said about the blue ocean. I mean, I think that we can try to build a different type of blue ocean, but for example, in my mind, Uber is a blue ocean. So they created a blue ocean, taking some pain points of the industry, and it's also one of the examples that they talk about sometimes when they talk about the blue ocean. They kind of took the pain points of the industry and mixed it and create a new market. So what we can maybe do is that try to build a new market that doesn't kill the others and it's just creating more value. I think it's somehow utopic, but we can go in that direction if we're interested in that way of being sustainable. That was my thought. But
I have one question. I have one question. If a company goes into a blue ocean without being sustainable, just for the matter of the blue ocean versus the red ocean, if one business finds a blue ocean, does it matter to them whether the red ocean still exists or not? Why?
Well,
If it is a startup, no. If it is a corporate, yes.
Why? Why
If
do
you
you think
have
so?
the, because so as I was working for a big company, we still had CDs and DVDs, even though they were not long existing anymore. So there was still a market there. It was a shrinking market, but we made a lot of money out of that market. And we went into other markets that were disrupting, obviously, that, like with cloud services and so on. And at some point in the future, these cloud services were disrupting all these kinds of other services. So CD and DVD went down that much that it was not a business anymore for us. With the blue ocean, you would normally leave the red ocean market as it is, and the business would run there, because you're creating a new market with new products.
Okay. I see that. So there's a big difference between, I heard you just saying in your second point before, you were talking mostly about technological innovation, I feel. Whereas innovation definitely does not always have to be about technology, not at all. It can very much be about people and processes, actually. It can be about business models. It can be, exactly as you say, discovering a totally new market. I always love the one of the easiest examples, one of the earliest examples that they use is the Cirque Du Soleil, which I really love, because nobody thought of, like, people had a certain thing in their mind what a circus is, and it has to include animals and it has to do this and that. And then they made a totally new offer, opening up a new market for entertainment. Whereas the old circus can still be there, but it has nothing to do with technology.
Exactly. And as said, is so I think there is the picture of the red ocean and the blue ocean that can be adapted to all businesses throughout. But if you talk about a blue ocean shift, I would say we talk about the method that, Elisa, you have outlined and outmapped already in that and what we have seen. So and I see that as a method that is, as they say, we will see, non-disruptive. It does not crash the market, while technology often do that.
Okay, so it's interesting. So it's all these terminologies, but let's not get too caught into. We're actually working. You know, and I are writing a jargon buster for sustainability teams, because people have different ideas. Like, these words have become hijacked by the media, and now when I say sustainability, I already know that you guys all have a different way of defining that in your head. And it's the same with, like, innovation and disruption and all of these, and transformational and radical and all these kind of words that we use in the innovation space. So for me, disruption has not necessarily doesn't have to do anything with technology or something like that. So let's not get stuck up on the words. It's what I mean with disruptive in this case. I'll just write it there. Oh no. Yeah, never mind. It's so big changes.
No, it's fine.
That's what it means to me. Big changes.
So first of all, I would like to take the grow part into the middle, and I would like to give Marcus some minutes to reflect on blue ocean and disruptive, non-disruptive, because I thought you wanted to say something about it.
Well, I have been listening carefully, and agree to a big part, but I think we don't need to dig too deep today, because we still have some sessions ahead of us to talk about it. But I definitely agree with Pam that it really makes sense aligning on a shared vocabulary, because I mean, innovation is already such a buzzword, and nowadays, sorry to say, disruption is also, and I think we need to look back at the origin, and but we don't need to do it today. Perhaps start next week's session really with our understanding of blue ocean. What are the characteristics that really define blue ocean and blue ocean shift, and work around that. And I would also like to discuss it independent of technology, etc. So I like also the example of the Cirque du Soleil. Although it's perhaps a bit old, that it gets really difficult to understand what that meant at that time to the market. Another example that is often used is, of course, also the iPhone, the iPod, which is standard today. But at the time when they were coming, of course, it was in this case a technology, but it was far more than a technology. But I have been talking too much already. My main message was, let's start perhaps next session with it.
What I like about so you said both you like systemic thinking. So what I see is, like, when I say blue ocean is a non-disruptive method in my world. So there are disruptive methods and there's non-disruptive methods, and there might be other methods to innovate as well. And then you come more and more to a system. Anyhow, two things to do. First of all is to take your avatar, copy it, and as I do right now, so it's string D, and I say, I like this very much. I agree with everything that has been said so far in general, and I'm going to take my seat on this table, and I'm happy to be a blue ocean sprinter.
Yay.
And
Confetti?
Confetti, yes, confetti, but it's like, it's like jingle bells, jingle all the way.
It's so nice, the snow. I miss snow.
There should be some sound around it.
Yeah, the sound is always, they're struggling with sound. And you know why? They have this, like,
Yeah.
this timer. No, not working. No, I wanted to create it. So I can see that everyone has taken a seat. Yeah, we have done the first part. Can I steal 5 or borrow 5 more minutes from you to discuss the next steps?
Yeah, sure.
Welcome.
Wonderful. How are we going to go about the next session? Because that's like something I'm struggling. And don't get me wrong, it's like in 2 days and we all have work to do. But maybe if we could all like do a 50 minutes prep work and we agree on some things, that would be good. So first things first, I would maybe together with Elisa try to map out the different steps and phases somehow. So that we like have a canvas where it says as is strategy canvas and how it looks like. And then we can down there discuss and think, how can we make this an exercise? Should there something be before? Should there be something after? But that we really map out, so what is it? So name, what is it? And then we have a place to ideate and think about how we can make an exercise out of that. Yeah. And that would basically the way we go through it. It's my suggestion, up to discussion.
Well, what I find very interesting is that a lot of us come also from a design thinking perspective. So trying to have a look at how blue ocean fits into the design thinking. And the as-is canvas, for example, is for the definition phase, for the evaluation phase in the beginning, so that we perhaps try to bring these two perspectives also together.
like double diamonds.
I like this
Yes.
perspective. I kind of try to do that all the times. I told you that I have experimented in some parts of the blue ocean inside the design thinking process. So maybe we can build a journey like a skeleton that it's made by the steps of the traditional blue ocean, and then maybe reflect on what's missing or what we could add.
Yeah.
What's necessary, like requirements before that phase or something like that.
Exactly.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. What I always look for is what I want to know what's the purpose. Why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing a certain exercise? Why am I going through a certain mural? And then in the end, that's the thing with a lot of these innovation tools. Like, you don't really know what's going to be the result at the end, which is fine. But you do have a bit of a framework. Like, so I love the skeleton idea, and then going over like, okay, but what is the point? Why are we actually going through this step to really understand why the exercise is there in the first place, and see if then we're missing something.
Okay, so your idea, Alex, was of?
So mapping out the blue ocean steps.
Okay.
Doing a skeleton.
Yeah, like a journey,
like a journey, like a arrow. What are the 6 phases of design thinking, and which parts does fit into which one? We can discuss that and so on, but let's do that, and then we have a third part where we start laying out the exercises and how we would like to do that.
Okay. And
maybe. So sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
No, go.
And maybe, Marcus, you said to maybe find some common understanding of important words. I don't know if you could, if you want to, make like a small exercises of the 5-6 top words that we are going to use in this format, like a lot, and that we do like silent brainwriting on each, and then decide on one and have some discussions. Maybe this will take up a big part of the next session, but I think a common vocabulary shows a deeper understanding of the issue, and as an expert, as we call ourselves, and we should be blue ocean experts, we should be able to say, oh, a blue ocean sprint is, where do you do it, where do you find it? You should like have the possibility to taxation. In Germany we say like, that's, you have something like a big like, I don't know, you have cars, and then you have the different brands of the cars, and then you have a motor, and you have the wheels and so on. So you have parts and the total, and we should be aware where, okay, that's the total, and we are here, so that means that we are, and that it goes a lot with vocabulary. So that's the way I would do it. Would that be okay for you, Marcus?
That's okay.
An exercise like that?
I will give it a thought. Yes, of course. The other thing, what might make sense is also spending some time on discussing who we want to develop it for. Is it going to be for a startup? The question is, who could be the people in the workshop? We discussed, well, we had it in our pre-discussion, how much do people know about the customer perspective, etc. So there might be the need to have kind of a decision tree or logic tree where we can say, look, we have a startup here that wants to go into a market, but they don't have any market knowledge, and you can also not see certain market characteristics from the outside. So how do you gain the knowledge, etc.? Or are you already in the market and want to make the shift? So that could also be something that helps us at least creating a certain framework of the problem that we are trying to solve here.
I agree. I think we need a challenge. Maybe it's not like a complete one, finished one, but somehow what also Pam was saying, we need to know, I mean, you can build exercises, but don't build the exercises for exercising. So it's just, I don't know, I need to focus on kind of a problem or a goal and try to build the exercise, and then I will realize where the problem are. For example, when I was applying the utility map in some of my workshops, I realized that there was a problem when I was thinking about my client and what they were asking for, and something needed to be changed. So maybe we will think also about a topic or something, I don't know, a challenge.
That's not a bad idea.
We will only, so I like the topic idea. I have an idea for a topic, and I will tell you in a sec. We will, when we lay out a topic, decide for one or the other option. We will either do it for a startup or we will do it for a bigger corporation. We will not do both at the moment. So we should be aware that the process that we are creating is like a core process of the Blue Ocean Sprint. And then that needs to be, as always, customized and adapted to the situations, how it is. It is a startup. Is it a big corporation? Is it,
yeah,
whatever.
sure.
And the idea of a topic for me, and maybe that is something that resonates with you, is that there's a lot of design sprint facilitators out there that sell design sprints, but that is like in our own bubble, and is sometimes difficult to sell a design sprint. But how could we move from selling design sprints, which is a red ocean, so to say, into a blue ocean with that?
It's kind of a meta topic.
It is. But so we could blue ocean. We could blue ocean our situation ourselves. So we could like we do what we teach. Something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's complex, but I don't know. So maybe
we don't have to decide on that.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe.
So homework number one. Everyone is thinking about the topic that we can work on as an example. We will not work out the topic in total details, but we use it as an example to go through the exercises. Would something sensible come out? So think about the topic. That's number one. Number two is that is the blue ocean and design thinking canvas, which is going to be done by Elisa and myself.
Yeah.
And Marcus is doing a little exercise on the 4 to 6 top words and vocabulary and understanding. I'm thinking only in words, but maybe we have to clarify other understandings as well. And we start with the one from Marcus next time and see how long we take. And then, because the other canvas we will work over. And the next date that we have?
17. It's the 17, right? It's Thursday, right? We see each other on Thursday. Okay. And Alex, if you want me to work on the canvas with you, you have to give me the rights to work on it, because right now I'm just a visitor. So you have to add me as a facilitator.
Yes, okay. Facilitator. That's a good one.
So I have no individual homework?
At the moment, you don't have any individual homework.
I'm the lucky one this time. Someone else gets to have the lucky flag next time.
Well, perhaps, I mean, we all have one homework, thinking alternative cases on which we can work. And I was already expecting you to say something about a sustainability case for a company. Perhaps there is something that you could imagine that could also fit your personal business purpose, that there is something.
Yeah, we all have that part of homework, right? All think of a topic for developing a solution. Yeah. But like you guys have a little bit extra, and I don't. So that's what I was referring to.
You can think about more topics.
Far more topics.
Not just in sustainability. That's the challenge.
Okay. I'll do
Okay.
my best.
So then we've done 11 minutes over time. I think we know what we do. We
Yeah.
do meet the day after tomorrow. Bye to YouTube. So I'm stopping.
We need to find a song, like something to play at the beginning.